Well, who would have thought it, guys? After so many weeks, after so many months, the band's back together!
Ooh.
It's the full band.
Yeah!
But anyways, welcome to episode 31
Yeah, weird Sean.
of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. As always, I'm your host, Elijah Leonard. To the top of me, that is Sean R. To my left, that is Wyatt Walker. And top left, that is Zachary Taylor.
Hello, kids.
Oh my god.
Why? Why? This is what you
Why?
start off with all the time. Why? We may not have kids
It's
watching this.
It's Taylor. We should know this by now.
Yeah, that's true.
That was kind of a weird intro.
But
Yeah,
plus another
like
thing,
every intro Sean does.
plus another thing that I also want to say is that you can also see me and Wyatt. We're wearing our career shirts, so hey, that's the first thing we haven't done in a while. And also Taylor and Sean are, they're dressed casually, so they're not themed up.
I don't have any NASCAR.
You've got a Team Penske hat.
That kind of destroyed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
And you've got like a 29 hat laying around somewhere. He's just like, yeah, about that. I burned it.
About that, it's
I burned it after his year was being crap.
Okay, guys, so let's get on topic here. We're already 3 minutes into this little tidbit here, and we haven't gotten anywhere. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Michigan Gateway, man. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about it. Thoughts? What were you guys' thoughts?
Well, first of all, I went back and saw part of the truck race, and then the Cup. So I didn't really get to see a lot of the Xfinity race, but
Yeah.
Gateway was pretty interesting for the first race to the truck playoffs. The race was pretty good. Congrats to Sheldon Creed on winning that, and whole lot of carnage even for a bunch of the playoff drivers.
Yeah.
And how about history being made? Haley Deegan first. Are you kidding me right now? Hold on, I have to I'll explain mine in a bit. Hold on.
oh my god.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Wyatt has had himself a busy day all day today.
Oh man.
He wanted me and Ray in a mod call, and then all of a sudden in the middle of that he gets a phone call, and here we are at the beginning of the show, and he's already got another phone call.
Oh my.
Okay, but before Wyatt keeps going with what he's talking about, and I have a feeling as soon as I say that he's gonna come right back in. What were your guys' thoughts?
Taylor, you go next.
Well, Gateway was very interesting. Kind of turned into a demolition derby a couple times with how hard the drivers were racing and
Yeah.
some of the wrecks that we saw. But tell you what, one thing I was surprised about Michigan is, especially during the Cup race, nobody really had a humongous lead. Other than green flag pit stops where 1 point Kyle Busch had like a 20-25 car length lead. Other than that, nobody really was able just to run away with the race. That was kind of a big surprise. And then Ryan Blaney somehow pulling off the upset win. I certainly did not expect Blaney to win that.
Who really did, to be honest? He kind of just showed up after that push from Kyle Busch, and the rest is pretty much history,
Yeah.
Alrighty, Sean. How about your thoughts?
Well, this is gonna sound bad, but I have not heard or seen anything much about what's happened this past race weekend. Because I know who's won all the races. Allmendinger winning in Xfinity, which that's just a surprise by itself. For one, Blaney then winning the Cup race, another surprise. But then Sheldon Creed, that's not much of a surprise there.
No, I mean, because like he won Gateway the previous year, so I mean there was it was no secret he was going to be a contender, and I find it really interesting about Sheldon Creed. I feel like he's had himself a really quiet season so far. You know, he does good, he's consistent, he wins Darlington. That's the race that gets him into the chase. And he's calm, he's cool, collected throughout the rest of the way. And then the chase comes. Flip the switch. Here we go, baby.
Yeah, and that's what we were probably all thinking he was probably going to do after a. So, yeah, besides that, I can't really say on my thoughts on the whole race weekend.
All right. Anyways, Wyatt, you want to continue before you get another phone call?
Very funny. Very funny, yeah. Most likely for me, I will end up getting another call around this time. I probably will. But anyways, what I was saying was about the... I don't know where y'all at right now, but continuing to what I was saying, in Truck Series, we had a first time in this history. Hailie Deegan got a top 10 at Gateway, and it's the first time a woman driver's got a top 10 in a race that was not Daytona.
That's true. I think
so. She got that on her own skill, not just like a draft or all that.
What's so ironic about it? 10 years ago, Jennifer Jo Cobb became the first woman to achieve a top 10. I think it was just in general, and she finished 7th. 10 years later, Hailie Deegan becomes the first woman to get a top 10 at a track that's not Daytona. Where did she finish? What was it, 7th?
It was 7th.
The irony in that, baby.
Yeah, but at least this one has more skill than the one at Daytona.
Oh, which point taken. Point taken, for sure.
I could say this. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah.
just like Sean Ard. Anyways.
Wow.
Continuing that, I didn't really get to see the Xfinity race. I saw the end of the race, and congratulations to AJ Allmendinger. He's had really good success the last 6 days, winning the Cup race at the Indy Roval for Collie Racing first ever, and then going to Michigan and winning.
I swear, man, AJ is on a roll this year.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get back in the Cup Series soon, full time. I think it might be 2013 since he's still full time and going full time next year in Xfinity, but he's going to get a full time ride.
Oh yeah, there's a chance he might get back in the Cup Series, so we'll see.
And the Cup Series is pretty good, and it was a really good race, really challenging. I enjoyed a lot of it. There's a lot of drafting, which was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations to Ryan Blaney, who first time in his career to multiple wins in a season.
That is, yeah. Absolutely, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is by far the best season that Blaney's had in a long time, since joining Penske, I want to say. You know, yeah. I mean, as far as Blaney goes, I mean, he hasn't been like a driver that hasn't really been talked a lot about when it comes to being in like the picture for wins. But I feel like now Blaney has put himself in a much better position now that he knows and has been with the team long enough. So now he can start going out there, racking up some more wins. And chances are, I mean, hey, few weeks' time, I mean, Talladega's been a really good place for him. Maybe he could get a third win there this year. So, hey,
Maybe.
anything can happen, but it's too early for me to say that because we're not there yet. So, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go into the grading portion. Starting off with Zachary Taylor. If you could give this weekend a grade from A to F, what would it be and why?
Well, I mean, given all the good racing that we saw, especially during that Cup race, them going 3 and 4 and 5 wide at times at Michigan, not only on the restarts but even through the turns, and just nearly wadded each other up about 2 or 3 or 4 times. But
yeah,
I think I am going to give this weekend an A.
All right.
All right.
Sean, what you got?
If I had seen the highlights before entering here, I could make a decision, but I am undecided right now on what to give my grade here.
Oh.
Like, if I did see the highlights, I would say something, but I just can't here.
So we'll officially say that's an undecided grade.
Yeah, undecided grade. I can't really say.
All right. That may be a first for the show. Wyatt.
I might have to agree with Taylor on this one because, it was like a lot of greatness. Every race was really good. The racing was really good in all three, and just all in all, good. A. In other words, you got it. I agree with Taylor. Gotta give it an A.
Absolutely, man. So here's my thing with this entire weekend. First of all, we had 2 surprise wins. Wins that we never really expected, being Blaney and Allmendinger at Michigan. And then the not so much of a surprise, we kind of saw this kind of happening with Sheldon Creed at Gateway because, like I was talking about earlier, it feels like now that the chase has started for trucks, Creed has flipped a switch and now he's going to start going out and start to be as competitive as possible, which I feel like that is a good strategy for Sheldon because, as I went back, alluded to, throughout this entire year before the chase began, he has been very quiet. He got the 1 win at Darlington and was quiet throughout the rest of the year until the chase began. And now he's flipped on a switch and here we go. And I keep hitting my mic, so oh well. But anyways, the one thing I'm happy about the Xfinity race is the Jizz car did not win. The Jizz car did not win. So therefore, I am happy for that. But
So hold on, before you continue that, I don't know how much Taylor, you or Sean watched the rest of the last videos that we've done, but just so right now, Ty Gibbs is Elijah's favorite right now, just like Logano is mine.
But what doesn't make
he's not really happy with Ty Gibbs right now, and I could tell.
No, keep going. Sorry.
And I could tell he was mad because when I last picked my driver to win, it was him.
And I'm happy he didn't win. So
come on, man! Quit doing that. Yeah, okay.
But what I am also upset about is that he easily got handed a win in ARCA, so that's no surprise. But, anyways, yeah, just an A. I'll give this an A. I'm going to jump on the A bandwagon because Ty Gibbs did not win the Xfinity race. It was A.J. Allmendinger who was my dark horse, and by gosh, he got it done. But I will say, as far as Blaney, did not expect him to win. I thought he was going to run maybe top 5, maybe top 10, and that was it. Yeah. Didn't see him winning at all. But, hey, he put himself in the right spot, and he got there, so big congrats to Blaney. Alrighty, so when we come back, folks, we'll be going over some of the topics that we have set before you, so don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. we're back, guys, for episode 31 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. As always, Elijah Leonard. Top of me, that is Sean R. To my left, that's Wyatt Walker. Top left, that is Zachary Taylor. And let's add another topic, guys. Let's talk about this Keselowski-Dillon incident that happened at the end of Stage 2. So, to give you a little synopsis of what happened, if you didn't see the race or any of the highlights, so Keselowski and Dillon were battling for stage points. This was for 6th, I believe, to finish out the stage. Dillon got the spot, but as soon as they cross the line, from first glance, Keselowski gets into Dillon, turns him up into the outside wall, ending his day. And Keselowski definitely did feel really bad about it because he did take to Twitter saying that it was his fault. So, let me go ahead. I'm going to ask you guys here. I mean, at first glance, first of all, at first glance, did you guys think that this was intentional? And then secondly, who do you think? Actually, no, that would be a dumb question if I asked who do you think will most be at fault, because we already know who is already at fault. So,
Yeah.
How do you think that situation would have played out differently, or how do you think it should have played out differently?
Well, by the looks of it, as you could tell, like going to the line, Dillon had a run. He got on the apron. He got it. He was trying to get off it, and then either he kind of went up, and Brad Keselowski went to the low because I think Brad Keselowski was trying to side draft and wasn't able to get to there in time. But they were going 190, so he was trying to get up there. Keselowski couldn't react, so that's what got him. So it wasn't really intentional, and what could have happened if Keselowski would have just known that. I mean, he was trying to fight for a playoff point, but if Keselowski would have went up a little bit and just let him know that the line was crossed like a split second and just haven't got up, I feel like they would have been fine.
All right.
Would have been good. But yeah, tough break for Austin Dillon. He was having a really good car. He probably could have had a chance to win the race too.
He had a wicked fast car today. I mean that day. Yesterday, really, at the time that we're recording this. But Dillon hadn't showed what he had. I mean, he had the right car. He had the right setup underneath him. He very well would have had a chance to win. And if he was in that position, he probably should have won that race.
Yeah, probably.
So
weirdo Sean, what's yours?
Okay, let me just say off the bat, I'm not a weirdo, so get that off.
Ignore that. 100% ignore that. Ignore that. He is definitely one.
Speak for yourself on that. But about the whole incident, really, I think what could have been done differently is right when they pass the lines, just start slowing down immediately. Yeah, I know you have to go to a certain speed, but it's just not right if you're both side by side going to the line.
Right.
And hearing how the first glance was, it could have been just a little unknowing. But the spotter was probably telling them, but by the time they had it to them, it was too late.
Yeah.
Taylor?
That was a very interesting incident with both Austin Dillon and Keselowski trying to get stage points and have a good finish there in that stage. And Dillon nearly won stage one if he could have got around Chase. He seemed like he had a really good car there going during stage one and before he got wrecked. But it was obviously hard racing, and I mean they probably could have done a little bit different things than what they did.
Yeah.
To avoid that wreck, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's a situation that, could have been avoided, but, when you have a split second to react, that's all you get. It's a split second. Once it goes by, man, you're committed, and you just gotta strap in and hang on. That's all you gotta do.
Mhm.
Next thing I wanted to discuss here, and I touched on this. By the time that this episode drops, I would have already touched on it on NASCAR Hot Take. But we did mention that Haley Deegan, without question, made history with that 7th place finish at Gateway. And now that the chase has started, I mean, and I know that Deegan is not in the chase. She's got nothing to lose, so now she can just go out and try to go out on a high note and just get the best finishes that she can. So, with her doing this, do you think this is first of all, do you think this is a step in the right? You guys, let me start over. First of all, do you guys think that this is a step in the right direction? And secondly, do you think that this will reflect on how she will possibly do in 2022?
It's definitely a step in the right direction, especially for her and that team. She was actually at the end. DJ Carsley actually got like 3 cars in the top 10, I think. Because at the end, she was battling with both Grays. So, all in all, for the team, that's a pretty good step in the right direction as well. So, if anything, I feel like that's a pretty much good confidence for the rest of the season, and most likely for next year.
Yeah.
She might even win a race next year. Sean?
I think that I'm going to agree with the first part there. That's a real confidence booster for her to finish in the top 10. And by how it's been for her, how she's been learning throughout this whole season, it might change to see how she will do that season. She will take the experiences that she got this season and transfer them over. Maybe on the point why gave on the win, I still say that it could come. When? Who will know on that part there?
Right.
Taylor?
Weird note taker.
Yeah, I was writing down my pick. Okay.
She's taking a lot of notes on how to cheat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How to cheat. No, I'm kidding. Okay, getting back to the topic on hand here. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Deegan did a really good job at Gateway, and I don't think anybody expected that good finish from her. But you know, with her not making the playoffs and this year, and having that good run, I mean, that could give that team some good momentum and to get some good finishes to close out the year. And we got Dega coming up for the Truck Series too. I mean, maybe she could pull off an upset win at Dega. I mean, she's really got nothing to lose not being in the playoffs. I mean, she ain't got nothing to lose except go for wins right now. So,
right.
I mean, you mentioned that, but my mind, I don't want her first win to be like at a super speedways like some of the other drivers. I want to actually be on like an actual racetrack, like maybe like Kansas, Michigan, all that, etc. It's like have it being at like a Daytona, Talladega. Anyone can win there. Anyone can. It would be more meaningful when it was a different track than one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because like it kind of dates back to when she was racing in the Pro Series. All of her wins practically came at short tracks. I mean, then again, you also have the Las Vegas dirt track, but you could still consider that a short track because that's what mostly all dirt tracks are. They're short tracks. But, you know, I think those types of wins, yes, were really meaningful. I mean, regardless of where Deegan wins at, whether it be at a play track, whether it be at a place like a mile and a half like Kansas or let's say, Nashville, even though it's not really a mile and a half, but it's close. It's close to that point by a little bit, but not a lot. Anyways, Michigan, Martinsville, places like that. I mean, regardless, Deegan is going to like celebrate it like there's no tomorrow, because she's just a bundle of energy, and that's a great thing. Not taking away anything from that. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, I personally, to me, I feel like wins like, I mean, those types of wins for Deegan would probably be more special if they came on intermediate to short tracks, and even road courses too.
Definitely.
But it'll still mean a lot if Deegan won. I mean, to me, like, it doesn't matter where. So, next thing that I wanted to also talk about with you guys is Eric Jones. Now the secret, well, it's not really much of a secret because this is already announced, but he's going to be back with Richard Petty Motorsports next year. So, good news there for Eric. He still has a home with RPM, but I don't even know where else to go with that. So, first of all, with the way things have gone for Eric Jones, I mean, what do you see him doing in 2022?
Well, the best thing about 2022 is that everyone's going to have a level playing field. So
yeah,
Richard Petty Motorsports could end up like coming back and actually doing something next year. It's a big maybe, but I mean, with the level playing field and all that, and Eric Jones is a good driver. We know he's a really good driver. He's won a couple of races.
Mm-hmm.
He's won Daytona and Darlington, which are two really good tracks. So he's capable. He's capable of winning and doing good. Let's just so the playing field can even out, and Richard Petty Motorsports can end up getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Sean?
Yeah, I would kind of agree on that statement there, and kind of see that maybe Eric Jones with possibly with how Richard Petty Motorsports could develop during this off season, maybe improving on that team there, he could have opportunities on getting wins at other tracks. Maybe like, let's say, Martinsville, a Pocono, a Michigan, something like that. And maybe help show more of Eric than what we've seen so far from him.
All right.
Weirdo? Number 2?
I'll have to think about that one. Anyway, well, I mean, Wyatt does bring up a good point there. I mean, next year everybody's going to be really on a level playing field with these new cars coming into the Cup Series, and so nobody's really going to have an advantage next year. You know, with Eric Jones having the wins that he's got with some big racetracks like Darlington and Daytona, I mean, he's proven he can run up front, be competitive, and you know, maybe next year they can have a really good season next year and get some wins next year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. All right. We've come to this discussion. We've already touched, Wyatt and I have already touched on this a couple times the last few weeks. But here we are. One spot left. That's all I gotta say is one spot left is open in the 2021 chase for the Cup. So to give you a little rundown on what basically the rest of the top 20 looks like, Harvick has already clinched a spot, so we know he's gonna be in. Chances are, for how long into the chase, we don't know. Anyways, so for Reddick, He is the only holder of that final spot. Obviously, no other person can hold it. So Reddick is the only one that is currently in on points. 25 points above the cut line. Then you take a look at the 4 drivers that are listed in the red right now. Outside looking in. All those drivers in a must-win situation. Austin Dillon, 25 below. From the looks of it, he may have the best chances of maybe dethroning Tyler Reddick for that final spot. Matt DiBenedetto is 120 below. Chris Buescher, 135. And then you have Ricky Stenhouse Jr., 173 below. All those drivers, as I said, in a must-win situation. Tyler Reddick, if you want to do this, you could throw him in a must-win situation because it's either win for him, for Tyler Reddick, win, or do as good as possible, get as many stage points as you can, as many playoff points as possible, and from there you might be able to hold on to get the spot.
Playoff points won't matter because it's a win. If anyone wins, they're in.
Absolutely.
So that's the main thing. Daytona is the biggest wild card there is. Because you gotta win to get in, and Daytona's a track where you need to figure out you need to win that race. It's 100%. You need to.
Yeah. And
you have really good plate drivers out there. You got current plate drivers who have not have a win yet, like Stenhouse. If you had to think of a driver who is in a must-win, who's in there? Stenhouse is a plate driver. Ross Chastain's a pretty good plate driver, but he's really aggressive, and that may play out. Austin Dillon won the Daytona at one point. All other good plate drivers blow cut off. Matty D, pretty good, but
yeah,
it's hard to figure out. You just gotta have luck on your side.
Absolutely.
You have to have lady luck. And speaking of ladies, Sean.
Again, speak for yourself for one. I'm going to say this: when we go green at Daytona, all bets are off. It's really not going to be about who gets the amount of points or who is in that 16th spot. But if we see a surprise win, just one, it's going to change the whole vision of what's going on here. So Daytona's going to be really interesting for how we're going to see this play out.
Yeah. All right, Taylor, what you got?
Well, I do believe this is the first time we raced at Daytona right before the playoffs started.
No, they did that in 2020 as well.
They did that last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, this is really going to make things interesting. Going to a place like Daytona where anybody can win. And that could be good news or bad news for Tyler Reddick, who's trying to hold that last spot in the playoffs. I mean, he's either going to have to win or hope somebody that's already got a win wins, really.
Yeah.
And he's have to have a good run. So Daytona is, who knows what's going to happen with that final playoff spot.
And we mentioned it happened last year. We had first time winner last year win that by William Byron, who ended up knocking out his teammate Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But man, I mean, this should be very interesting. So, all right. I also want to go ahead and say this. I mean, because personally, to me, I think this should make for a really interesting conversation. But out of the 5 drivers that are currently listed inside of the top 20 in the playoffs right now. That's with the playoff standings. At least, like I said, that's from what I'm looking at. You can even go outside the box if you want to. Out of the 5 drivers that are currently listed, Reddick, Dillon, DiBenedetto, Buescher, Stenhouse. Out of those 5 that are in that must-win situation, if you had to pick one who had the best chances of winning, who would it be?
If you want to go with those 5, I'd say Stenhouse because he's won actually won Talladega and Daytona in the same year at one point. So he's pretty aggressive. He's a pretty aggressive driver. So if anyone needs to win their way in, Stenhouse can. But if you want to go like outside the box, I think outside the box, maybe Chase Briscoe. Briscoe's never really won. Briscoe's never won a super speedway race, but you could tell by he's an aggressive driver. He's been on the roll, on a ball lately, having some really good races, finishes. Not kind of Indy Roval, but he ran up there good in Indy Roval. So, but yeah, and if I have to throw one more because of being aggressive, Ross Chastain. I think those 3 are the most likely from the bottom to try to do something.
All right.
Sean?
Oh, this is tough because there's a bunch of people that are wanting to go after Reddick right now. But out of the 5, I say Matt DiBenedetto could be one. Because he's been close to wins before. And I think this could be an opportunity for him to do it. He just has to be there at the right place, right time.
Yeah.
Someone who's outside those 5, Chastain's a good one as Wyatt put. But I think it's going to be one of those 2 that could surprisingly get in.
Taylor?
Well, I mean, there is obviously some really good drivers that are outside the playoffs right now, and tell you, I mean, Wyatt and Sean made some really good points and listed some really good drivers there. And tell you what, I think I'm going to have to agree with Sean. I mean, Matt DiBenedetto has been so close to winning that Daytona. Nearly won the Daytona 500 a few years ago with Levine Family Racing till he got wrecked. And almost won Dega this year. And, I mean, he has been so close so many times. Nearly won Bristol few years ago when he was still driving for Levine until Hamlin passed him. But, I mean, Matt DiBenedetto has been so close. And Chastain, he's been on a really good roll lately, too. So, he could be a really good contender at Daytona.
Absolutely. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and say this. First of all, the driver that could have the best chances, I mean, out of the drivers that are like outside of the cut line, I'm gonna have to jump on the Dibby bandwagon here because, like I said, so like you guys were alluding to, so close, so many times. I mean, came close to winning the Daytona 500. He came close to winning Bristol. He came close to winning Las Vegas last year and Talladega last year. So you're gonna add those on the list. You know, he's come close so many times. Like it's kind of gotten to the point where it has just gotten so painful to watch him finish second, you know. But as far as the driver outside the box, hear me out on this one, but I'm gonna say this is gonna be a spoiler. This could be a spoiler to anybody who's trying to who's in that must-win situation. Outside the box, I'm gonna say it's somebody who's already in the chase. How about Michael McDowell being a spoiler?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I was actually thinking about that. It's like you could end up putting Michael McDowell in there because you've shown he's a pretty damn good plate driver.
He is, absolutely, man. But alrighty, so when we come back, we're gonna be making our official predictions for Daytona, and they're gonna be wild, just like it's a wild card. So stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Jeez, that joke sucked. Alright, so we're back. And boy, oh boy, oh boy. Daytona, guys. Daytona. For Xfinity, I think this is their second to last race before...
No, I think it's the third to last.
Third to last before their regular season finale.
Because the first race of their playoffs is Las Vegas, I think.
Yeah. That's really... They do their chase really late this season. I don't understand that.
Oh, yeah, they do.
But anyways, Cup, we know, is the regular season finale. So, we're going to have some spicy predictions. But before we get to those, guys, first of all, Taylor, stop looking like you're being constipated over there. But anyways.
I got no comment.
What do y'all think we're going to have to expect at Daytona, seeing as though we've got a lot of circumstances coming into this weekend?
It's Daytona. That's number one thing. You expect the unexpected. That's number one at Daytona. You always gotta expect the unexpected, and there's always big ones. We don't know when they're coming. We just know they're coming. And knowing the luck of them, they're going to be coming during the end of the stages, because they're going to be fighting for stage points, especially Tyler Reddick and Austin Dillon, trying to fight for the last spot if another driver do not win this race, which it could most likely happen.
Oh yeah. He fucking looks away.
Yeah, I have a cat playing with the bag, and the other one's just looking at him like, you idiot, why are you in the bag?
What are you talking about, Willis?
I don't know. It looks like Sean Ard. I can't tell.
Hey!
I think it's Sean Ard and Taylor. I'm not sure.
My
No,
gosh.
no. Taylor and Elijah. What do you mean?
No, Taylor. No, Elijah's the Elijah's the roommate. It's just the cats are Taylor and Sean.
Wait. Why is he a roommate?
Because I trust him.
Yeah.
Like you two.
I never trust Taylor anyway.
Anyways, what do you guys say about Daytona, Sean?
Wyatt, you kind of made great points immediately off that. But I'm also going to say this. Since it is the last race before the playoffs, everyone wants to get some crucial points, especially if you're a playoff driver, before we go into those 10 races to decide the champion.
You mentioned that, and also don't forget about the battle between Larson and Hamlin.
Yeah, the regular season title is at stake as well, which Larson does have the advantage, but his record at Daytona isn't that well than Hamlin's.
Yeah, that's true. That could shake up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so, well, a lot of stuff's gonna get decided this weekend, and it's gonna get just insane to find out who's gonna do what.
Yeah.
Taylor?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is going to be wild at Daytona, that's for sure. Especially with Larson and Hamlin deciding the regular season championship, and plus having that last playoff spot on the line for someone to get. And Daytona is unpredictable a lot of the time just because of what can happen there. So Daytona is going to probably be a demolition derby. But
That's a lie.
but
Look back at last year.
Yeah.
Look back at 2018 with the Stenhouse Demolition Derby.
Oh yeah.
You mean Recky Stenhouse?
Yep.
Or Ricky Wreckhouse, as I call him.
But, yeah, Daytona, man. What more can you say? It's not only a wild card and just racing in general. It's the wild card right now for the Cup Series, and how the next two races for Xfinity may play out in the standings. But here we go. Predictions. Oh boy. Driver to win. Pretty self-explanatory. Your driver to stay away from is the driver who hasn't been doing well. The dark horse is the opposite. It's 1 point per category, but once the Cup Series chase is set, and once they begin, that will go up to 5 points per category for round 1. I will do more explaining on this once the chase for the Cup Series begins. So, without further ado, Zachary Taylor. I can't believe I haven't said this in a while, but you're up first.
I'm gonna feel a wife. No, I'm kidding. Okay. Okay.
That's why you're going first, so you won't know.
Well, as long as you don't show all my picks, we're good. Okay, no. Alright. Alright, let's get down to business. No, clown. Okay. Driver to stay away from for the Xfinity race. I'm thinking Ryan Seek will be my driver to stay away from.
Alright.
Dark Horse. We were actually kind of talking about him a little bit ago. I don't know why it particularly was. I'm taking the boy who's on a roll. I'm taking AJ Allmendinger as the Dark Horse. With that roll Colleague's been on right now, which kind of leads into my driver to win. Knowing how good that Colleague does on plate tracks, I'm going to say Jeb Burton gets his second career win in Daytona.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, for the Cup race, here's what we're going to get interesting. Driver to stay away from. I'm going to say Austin Dillon will be my driver to stay away from.
Ooh.
Dark Horse. This is going to be a crazy pick, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, and I do believe he's racing, I'm going to say Josh Bilicki is my Dark Horse.
Josh Bilicki. Oh, interesting.
Driver to win. Now, we've seen drivers sweep Daytona before, and knowing how good this driver is on plate tracks, it could happen. Michael McDowell, the Daytona 500 champion, is my driver to win and sweep the Daytona races.
Interesting.
Alright. You totally didn't steal that from Elijah, but anyways.
John! How about you? What you got?
All right, well, I'm immediately stealing Taylor's method. And we're gonna start off with the driver to stay away from for the Xfinity Series. I'm gonna choose Brandon Jones for that category.
That sounds about right.
That's actually sad but true.
It's sad but true, and really, he hasn't done well with Daytona. Unlike how he's kind of done at Talladega, he's done okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna be stay away from. Dark horse, I'm gonna actually do Jed Byrne for that category.
Alright.
Because even though he has the car potential to win, I am not going to choose him to win. But I am going to go for a teammate for my driver to win. And no, it's not Allmendinger, Justin Haley.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I like that.
It is so true. That honestly is so true because this is what you were probably alluding to. 3 consecutive plate wins.
That's right.
And his record at those plate tracks has been good. So I'm saying that the record, he's going to get back on this roll again on doing well at plate tracks by getting a win. Now, why do you know what happens here?
Yep, I'll be already calculating.
I already know what's going to happen here. I'm going to take your method in the Cup Series, the final Cup Series race before the playoffs. Let's start off with the dark horse. And I'm taking Taylor's driver to win as my dark horse, Michael McDowell.
That's not bad.
Again, he has the car to maybe have a potential to win, but I don't see him being up front. Now, the driver to stay away from, this one is a little bit difficult. But I'm going to choose Tyler Reddick.
Oh.
Yeah. I
And
can kind of see that.
Reddick, even though he's been good this season, I just don't see him having any good luck here with this season finale race. Now to the driver to win. There's a lot of good key components here. But I think who I'm gonna choose, I'm gonna choose Danny Hamlin.
Alright.
Yeah.
I think he could have a really good race and could be up front. Especially with his record on that track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Wyatt! You're up next.
So on my Xfinity picks, actually all of them was said by actually these two, but different times. I'll elaborate. My dark horse, and actually, this is actually going to be a one team sweep for this. My dark horse, Taylor said it, AJ Allmendinger.
Oh boy.
My driver to stay away from, Sean said it. Jeb Burton. Driver to win. Sean said it. Justin Haley.
A team sweep for this one. Interesting.
A team sweep, because, like I said, we know how good we know how good AJ Allmendinger's been this season, and he's ran up there a bunch of times in there. So he's an obvious pick. Of course, Justin Haley, an obvious pick for winner. He's won 3 straight plate races. And Jeb Burton, I just don't see him as a really good plate driver. Yes, he won Talladega, but think about that. It rained.
Yeah.
He got lucky.
Yeah.
So, as much as I could see Colleague running 1, 2, 3 again, I gotta have the Colleague sweep for this.
Yeah.
So, for the Cup Series, and I give this one to Sean again because he put another dark horse up there for, I think, Michael McDowell. He won Daytona 500, and he's a really, really good plate driver. Is he a winner? No. Sorry, Taylor. But I think Michael McDowell is a really, really good pick for a dark horse, and I'm keeping it that way. The driver to stay away from. It's a tough one. I think he won Talladega, but no, I don't see. I'm giving it to Brad Keselowski. I'm giving it to Bad Brad. I just don't see it.
That's pretty bad of you to say.
Yeah, I know. just like Taylor.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe Sean, I don't know. Anyways.
Hey!
But driver to win. This is tough. I do think it's going to be a repeat winner. I do think that. So that's a pretty tough. Do I think it should be a repeat winner? What? Taylor?
Huh?
Ah, shit.
What did I do?
I know you're trying to say something. Anyways. I think I'm going to... I'll be damned if he does. I'm shooting. Kyle Larson.
Alright.
I'm going to shoot. I think Kyle Larson can get his first plate win.
Okay.
And keep his streak going.
Interesting. That honestly is very interesting that you say that. Alright. So it's my turn. It is...
Run away from the biggest weirdo.
Oh boy. I think I may have my dark horse for Cup here pretty sealed up, but I'm not going to reveal it here until we get there. So, here we go for Xfinity. Driver to win. I think I'm going to jump on this bandwagon. Justin Haley is going to be my driver to win. The numbers say it. 3 straight plate wins last year. Not counting the first Daytona race. He's going to be my driver to win. Pretty easily. The driver to stay away from... I think I also have to agree with Sean here. Brandon Jones is going to be my driver to stay away from. His luck at Daytona has just not been the best at the last couple of years, and whether it be at the opening race or at the halfway point, or in this case, near the end of the regular season. So, yeah, I don't see this being any different for Brandon Jones. Dark horse, however, I think I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of a different direction here. Austin Cindric's going to be my dark horse.
That's great. That's a good one.
Not bad.
Now for Cup. Oh boy. I think you guys might find these predictions pretty interesting. You might find these interesting. So for my driver to win.
Hold on. More or less than what Taylor's?
Maybe a little less, but I won't know until I reveal them. So,
Yeah.
driver to win. Driver to win. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say.
Damn it, Fox! How damn you, Fox!
Don't get us copyright. I think I'm gonna say that's the hype music for my cup predictions. I'm gonna say for my driver to win. I'm gonna say Chase Elliott's gonna be my driver to win. He's come close a couple of times, regardless if it would be Daytona 500, or the regular season finale at Daytona. I mean, he came close last year. He finished second to his teammate, William Byron. So I think he might get it this year.
Wait, did he get second to William Byron? I thought Hamlin got second that race.
No, it was Elliott. It was Chase.
I know Elliott got second at the Daytona this year for the 500.
Yeah, he did. Let me take a look at Racing Reference. So Chase Elliott, did he finish second in the second Daytona race? He did.
Oh, he did?
He did. So he's
All
my
right.
driver to win. I mean, the numbers show. I mean, he does do pretty good at Daytona. I mean, once he's put in the right spots, you know. But my driver to stay away from, I think I'm gonna say. Man, as much as I hate to put him in this category, I think I'm gonna say Kevin Harvick's my driver to stay away from.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, honestly, with the season he's been having, I really don't see him doing all that well at Daytona for the second race. I mean, sure, he is clinched a spot, so he can finish last for all that matters. But other than that, he doesn't change anything. My dark horse. Oh boy, you might want to hear me out for this one. He finished.
Oh boy.
He didn't win the Daytona 500 this year, but he did finish inside of the top 10. This is a driver who actually did really well throughout the entire race and was in the conversation a couple of times. Dark horse, hear me out, Corey LaJoie.
What?
I can see that.
I mean, like I said, I know he didn't win. But he was up in the mix. He was in the conversation when he was able to get up there and mix things up. And he still got a really good finish out of it. He finished inside of the top 10.
I mean, he's not wrong. Spire has been on point at Daytona a good couple of times. I mean, you saw it 2019, Justin Hayes, his first career win there, and both of them actually, I believe, got top 10s at Daytona 500.
I think they did, yeah.
That seems crazy just to say that one.
Yeah.
Spire is a pretty, believe it or not, Spire's a pretty damn good plate team. There it is. And next season, it's going to be level playing field, so it's going to be interesting.
It will be.
Sure.
They could end up getting more wins and probably going for championships.
Maybe. Alrighty, guys.
So.
Any final words before we get this Daytona weekend underway?
Taylor's going to crash lap 1.
Sounds about right.
I think we need to name Wyatt Weirdo over here. No.
No, that's your title. 100%.
That's your new title. Okay. Well, as far as my final thoughts go, well, I mean, a lot on the line at Daytona, and who knows what we're going to see, and got to watch out for the big ones, and who knows what's going to happen. And also, our next person to give his final thoughts owes me $191,011 for using my method.
Yeah, I guess that's referring towards me.
Yeah.
Sean, you owe a lot of money, my guy.
Hold on. The funny thing is, I didn't even do my money thing. Taylor actually did it.
Yeah, see,
That's the funny thing.
Let me just state this out. I'm not paying near you any money. Not now, and not at the end of the season. I'm gonna pay y'all anything. Just get that out of the way. But as for my final thoughts, can't wait for Daytona. It's gonna be an exciting race weekend. And after that, for the Cup Series, we're looking straight forward towards those playoffs. Round of 16. Here we come.
About you, Wyatt.
Oh man, oh man. It's Daytona. Let's get this thing going. Let's see who makes that final spot.
That'll be very fun to watch, and it'll be very fun to listen to. So, that's going to do it for episode 31 of the NASCAR Pit Stop Show. I want to thank you guys a lot for watching, and if you haven't liked the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you haven't considered subscribing yet, recommend you do so to keep up with some fine content coming out in the near future. And that pretty much does it for us. On behalf of Zachary Taylor, Sean Arndt, and Wyatt Walker, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.